let us check out what a legal mindset has here for a Nintendo. I get the gist of everything already. I mean, it's been going on for a while now. And Nintendo has been trying to act like a fucking monopoly for a while now. Uh, I- well, it's a big push now, right? It's more apparent now, given as much as right all the patents they've been doing and all the copyright bullshit and right legal bullshit they've been getting into. So yeah, let's see the beginning of it basically. By legal mindset. Go check them out if you want to see more legal content stuff. Oh no,
Nintendo
he's
may
got
be
the
taking on
lag.
the world, and that may include the
Rip.
U.S. government as its lawfare campaign expands and continues. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney and legal mindset. We teach you to be
Hello.
your own judge. So let's get right into it today.
I
So
don't
this is a
want to be a
topic that
judge
many,
though.
many, many people have asked
Can
me to
I just
cover,
make fun of
and
people?
they've been asking me to cover this for a very, very long time because
Can I
it's
just call
something
people
very
an
much
asshole and make
ongoing,
fun
and
of
it
them?
affects not just Nintendo, not just Pokemon and Pal World, but the entire gaming space. And this could affect a genre. This could affect the gaming space, the modding community, and even Nintendo itself. This could be make or break for Nintendo, where they cement an image in the world, in the gaming community, as the villain, as the evil
Well, I mean,
corporation,
they've
and
already
really
have done
turn
that,
things
to be
downward
honest.
for their very own business. But we're going to talk about this
For
today
me,
from both a
they've
legal
already done
perspective
that,
and
like,
also from a
just
business
fucking,
perspective,
like,
because
10 years ago.
as I am a corporate attorney, I've seen the inside of these corporations. I know what makes business sense and what doesn't. And indeed, this campaign of lawfare is absolutely suicidal for Nintendo. And of course, this is a fast
Well,
facts video.
I
So if
mean,
you want
it's
to see
not
the
just
longer
suicidal
version,
for
you want to get all the
Nintendo. It's
reactions, all the
suicidal for the
comments,
whole
you check out the
gaming
live.
space.
If you do like the fast facts, make sure you like the video and leave a comment
Like, if
below. So
they
let's get into
do
the
this,
PowerPoint, the
it will
PP here today.
fuck
And of
up
course,
so
this is
many
both a
games.
Japanese and US thing because the lawsuits are
And
going
I don't
on
even
in
know if
Japan, but
all
there's
the
US patents
right.
involved.
Basically,
And of course,
if
when the US
Nintendo puts
government
this
gets
patent
involved,
through, they
well,
would have to be suing
that will
so
be a
many
lawsuit in
fucking
America. So let's talk
companies.
about this.
Right.
So first of all,
Because
there's an
there's a
update
bunch of
that
companies who
Nintendo is
have
now
video
arguing
games
as
with
part of their ongoing
summoning
lawsuit with
like
Power World that
mechanics.
mods don't count as proper games. So what they're attempting to do is have Power World say, "Hey, you need to shut down every single mod out there of Power World, especially if it would even look,
Oh yeah,
even seem
Pokemon
a little bit
mods, yeah.
like Pokemon. We're going to have you shut that down because Power World is, of course, being accused of being too similar to
Pokemon, yeah.
Pokemon, and therefore, hey, we're going to say you got to shut down everything. Now, mind you, their current lawsuit is over patents. It's actually
Patent,
not a
yeah.
copyright lawsuit, but they're attempting to expand it further.
Yeah,
And you can
they're
see
gonna
that,
go
of
after
course, people are
mods. I
coming
mean,
out with
they've already
mods and
been going
spin-off games right
after
now. You see
right
Pal Farm here, which is a Pal World
emulators.
spin-off game,
So I mean,
enjoying a farming life with
Nintendo has
mysterious
already
creatures
done
known as
a
pals.
bunch of
Team up with them and grow
bullshit,
your
right?
farm at your own pace in this brand new creature collecting
They
farming sim, fully
basically
playable
hate
in multiplayer.
fun,
So this is them, hey, kind of
right?
spinning
They're the
off of Pal
fun
World.
police.
Well, guess
They
what?
want to bar you from
This is exactly
fun.
the type of thing Nintendo hates. And what Nintendo is missing out here is that both Pal World and all these mods like Pal Farm
Yeah,
are things
basically
that
they tout
actually
being
help
family
Nintendo, help
friendly
the
and
company,
wanting
and
you to
help
have
everybody,
fun,
but
right?
only
But no,
because they're operating from
they
this
don't want you to have
scarcity
fun.
mindset,
They
which
want you to
drives them
suffer.
into this insane lawfare. Are they
Want you to
dragging
suffer.
themselves down here? And we're going to see kind of some of the legal consequences here. So let's talk about the legal battles in Nintendo. And there's various ones that are ongoing here. First, and this is the biggest thing that bothers me, is that this battle over mods, really the decision whether or not to mod rests with a game owner and their end user license agreement, their EULA. So
Hmm.
if Power World wants to decide to allow mods, that's Power World's
That's
decision. That should
yes,
not be
correct.
Nintendo's decision. So the big issue with this precedent is if Nintendo
Yeah,
wins this
Nintendo
precedent,
wants to
then
act like
any
the
game which looks at another game
managerial
and says, "Hey, this looks
force,
sort of similar to me," or
right? They
"Hey,
want to be
I
the
made some
arbiter, the
last minute patent,"
gatekeeper
and we're
of
going to
what
talk
kind
about
of
the
games
sneaky
people
patent troll level BS that
fucking
Nintendo is
make.
pulling.
You see how crazy
Any
Nintendo's trying
company
to
could come
become?
out, file a last minute patent, and stop
Man, I
mods. This
thought
would
fucking like
kill the
Sony
modding
or
community.
like
This would allow
Xbox
big
would try and do
corporations,
that.
big
No, it was
corpos to
fucking
nuke mods
Nintendo.
across the board. And this is an
It's those
absolute travesty
motherfuckers in the
because
back
mods
just
are sometimes the most
fucking
beloved parts of the
hoping
game.
no
In
one
fact, many
looks at
times
them.
big companies look at the mods and they find which mod is most successful and they make a game based on the
Yeah,
mod, or they make
yeah, the crazy thing is the
official support for
right?
that mod, right?
The
Look at
lobby
Dota,
or
right?
the
Dota
right
became a thing, right? right? And that's, once again, goes all the way
And
back to being a mod.
the fucking
But a lot of
people
these
who
gaming
enacted
companies
the
have forgotten their
law
roots. They've forgotten where things come
allowed them
from,
to, or the
and they're
patent
just trying to win through
makers
little
or whatever the
legal
fucking
persnickety
group is.
tactics, which just
Those
make
guys
them seem
allowed
petty and ultimately push
fucking
them deeper
Nintendo
and deeper
fucking to
into the
do that
villain
bullshit.
role.
Fuck that
And the
shit.
biggest thing that happened here that really caught my
Sorry,
eye
I'm
was
cursing a
last
lot.
month, Nintendo snuck
Fuck,
in a
fuckity,
new
fuck,
patent, a
fuck,
US
fuck.
patent, about summoning a sub character to fight. So essentially, what this does is say anytime that there's any game where there's a sub character, that meaning, the main character. Now, initial analysis by patent attorneys, and once again, that's not my area of specialty. I'm more of a generalist. Initial analysis has said, yeah, well, it's technically legal, but they really don't want a judge to look at it. If a judge looked at this, they might say, hold on there, especially in the United States, hold on there. What you're trying to do is control the entire pocket monster genre, or even pocket
Correct.
character or sub character genre.
Yeah.
You really can't do that. You can't do that in America. You can't say, hey, no, we own the entire genre. You can't do anything in this entire genre.
Yeah,
That's not
because
allowed. Think about a superhero saying, hey,
that'd
you
be
can't make a
insane because
superhero genre, or
right,
you can't
not
make a
just
monster
pocket
genre, or
monsters in
whatever else,
general,
right? A
but
horror genre,
there's so
dinosaur
many
genre, right?
there's
How
so
far are we
many,
going to let
right,
these
the
corporations go and
summoning
just
thing they're
monopolize
talking
genres? It
about.
doesn't make
So
sense,
many of
and it
other
stifles
games do
creativity. It's
that
absolutely
summoning
horrible
thing,
for
right?
everybody.
Especially
Nobody
when it
wins
comes to
here,
like
and the
mythology, right?
corporation just looks horrible.
Mythology
Now,
and
what the
fantasy
reality
sometimes,
is, and
because
once
you're
again, I tell you guys a legal
that's the
reality, whether
thing
the
about
facts
it,
meet your feelings or
right? The
not.
word
And I
summoning.
hope that people who both are pro Nintendo and anti Nintendo
Right.
can listen to this. But Japanese courts
uh,
are likely to favor Nintendo. And now that's both based on the power and structure of Nintendo in Japan, their influence, etc.
I mean, just
But the
at
other
a,
thing that is really
just
important to
at the
note, especially with the US
abstractness of the
patents,
term
is
summoning,
if
like, what are you
any
doing?
of those patents in the US are challenged, US courts might not look so favorably on Nintendo. So under US law, they might be in some trouble. And that's where Nintendo is probably sweating right now. Because if someone with deep enough pockets came at them and really came at them hard and really
Yeah,
pressed
I mean,
them, they might be
they
in some
could
big trouble.
stop
So I want to get
this,
into
right?
a situation with
Because
America. In fact, it got
yeah,
brought up today
exactly.
by ICE and the Department of Homeland
Right, if
Security, which dropped a very spicy video. And I'm
well,
wondering whether
that was a
there's
good
some
video.
base Chad in the social media department
Yeah,
at
I
DHS
wonder if the
who's just sitting there.
yeah, I
He's a
wonder
gamer
who's
and he's like, hey,
doing
you
the
know what's
social
trending
media
right
stuff.
now?
It's probably some
Nintendo being
fucking
an asshole.
20-year-old
So
man.
let's pull them,
That's
and
probably
let's
why. It's probably
absolutely
some
poke
20-year-old
Nintendo,
who
because
loves
if
Pokemon and is
anybody
like,
can
yeah,
go
let's use
after
Pokemon.
Nintendo, it is the US government. Once again, Nintendo has a
This
lot of money,
fucking guy,
but
man.
the US government could just print money. I mean, they just print money. And what makes it even worse is most Japanese debt, if you don't know this, they tend to have a lot of it denominated in US dollars. So
Right.
as the US prints, that just hurts the Japanese side. So Nintendo attempting to borrow would probably just end up benefiting the US government, which just would fuel the lawsuit. So it's absolutely a glorious situation. It's kind of a a funny white pill. But anyways, you can see the DHS in this "Gotta Catch 'Em All" ICE video, referencing the ICE roundups, used the kind of trademark lettering of Pokemon.
Yeah,
You
and
can
they
see
were
them here
putting
rounding
like
up
the
people. They use
cards of
clips
the
from
fucking
Pokemon,
detained
Pokeballs,
of
ad
the
catching,
fucking
etc. Right,
arrested people.
to the
Dude, they gotta
tune
make those.
of "Gotta
Dude,
Catch
I
'Em All."
swear to
So
God,
this
they
is
should
something
make
that,
those
hey, if
cards
Nintendo was going to come at them and
and
Nintendo was going to
package
say,
them
hey,
just
we're
like
litigious,
Pokemon.
we have to
Actually,
sue
I'm
everybody, we
pretty
have to
sure
do
they
everything.
can't do that
Well,
because that would be
Nintendo,
copyright
if you want to play
infringement.
that game, if you want to be a big
I
boy
mean,
and sue
not
everybody,
technically,
let's
right?
see you sue the United
As
States.
long as they
Please,
like put their
dear,
own, right, put everything as their
dear
own.
YouTube
I mean, it
overlords, dear
should
Nintendo,
work, right?
please do that. You will print me so much money covering this case. Please do that. As a grifter, a lawyer here on YouTube, I would love that. And I say it as a term of
Yeah,
endearment,
they
right?
should
Of
totally
course, I'm
make
joking.
cards.
That would be horrible for Nintendo. That
I
would
mean,
be
shit, they're
absolute
already
disaster for
making
them.
like
But
sports cards and shit.
what was also funny
Yeah,
is they
yeah,
not just
these
copied the
cards.
theme, but they even
Those
went to Pokemon cards. So even the Pokemon
See,
cards and
they
all that related
right.
to them,
See,
they
they
kind of
look. It's
made those
all.
out.
It's
And whoever
all
did this
right.
the
It's
Pokemon card
clean.
element of this
It's
video was like 3 seconds,
nothing.
but they put
All they
thought
did
and
was
detail into this,
take
like
the
type
ideas of
illegal
Pokemon and just
HP1,
right,
right? They
made
got
their
their
own
crime
descriptions
here,
and
they got their
everything.
history, and then the best
The
thing that made me
weakness,
really laugh was
the
weakness to
ice.
ice.
Yeah,
Weakness to ice. That's absolutely
that was
hilarious. And
great.
of course, they all died to a shed ninja. Isn't it sad when
Yeah,
you all died
I
to a shed
actually
ninja?
just got that
But
guy not too
anyways,
long ago.
let's look at this in fair use. So let's say, hey, if Nintendo's going to come at the
I
U.S.
actually have that.
government, what would happen?
Actually have
What are
that.
the fair use factors? And,
I
and this
just pulled that
applies to a
yesterday. I
lot of
think
other cases as well. You can use this just
it was
broadly,
yesterday.
especially
2
for
days. No,
copyright,
it was yesterday. I pulled them
etc.
yesterday.
Well, there's really four things. purpose and character of the use. Is it commercial, non-commercial? Is it research, educational, governmental? The nature, is it factual or creative? The amount and substantiality of the work used. So if we're talking about the Ethan Klein lawsuits, right? If you just watch all of his content, that's all of it. That's really
Hmm.
one of Ethan's stronger arguments in his lawsuits against Casey Tron Denims and the Orbiters and Discord and Reddit. But they just use some clips, right? So that's a much different story. And then last is the effect on the market. So are you a market competitor? Are you a market competitor to Pokemon? So let's look at that comparing it to the US government. Let's pretend in a magical world, pretend world, where Pokemon and Nintendo sue the US government. This is not going to go well for them
Yeah.
because the purpose and character of the use is governmental. It's nonprofit. They're not making a game. They're just trolling. They're just making a meme, right? What's the nature? It's a creative parody. So it's not
Correct.
something, it's something that typically is
Yeah,
protected,
it's
not something
protected
that
on.
typically they
Yeah,
would rule in favor of
it's
Nintendo.
protected under fair
What's
use.
the amount? They only use little clips of the pieces. They use the theme song,
Yeah,
but it's
and I
mostly
don't think
government
you want to
footage of
fight the
government,
government over
officers
fucking fair
arresting
use
people, which
factors,
Nintendo doesn't
man.
own. And what's the effect on the market?
I don't
Not
think
at
you want to
all. The
fight the
government is
government on
not in the
fair use
pocket monster
factors. I'm
genre.
pretty
The
sure they're
government
gonna
is not,
fucking steamroll
selling
you on
games. The
that one.
government is not selling Game Boys and stuff like that. So all these factors would go in favor of the
I
U.S.
mean, look, no
government. So they
matter
would just
how
lose
many
that fight.
lawyers
But what
you
I want to talk
throw
about
at
today in
the
the
government
suicide, and this is part of
supersedes
the
that
deeper
shit.
thought here that I hope you guys can appreciate as people of culture,
Yeah, Armageddon, Deep
is
Impact.
that
Those are some
there is an ability to
good
profit
movies.
even if something is similar, and this is kind of the double effect. It's kind of the Hollywood double effect, or some people actually call this the Armageddon deep impact effect. Now I know some of you Gen Z people may not know this, so stick with me. Back in the day of movies, when movies were good, when
Correct.
Hollywood did things right,
Yeah,
think
when
way back. You
Hollywood
were probably a
wasn't
wee
so
one if you're a
captured by
younger person, but I
fucking
remember this. They
political
would put out
fucking bullshit,
similarly themed movies, so they're both about an asteroid that would
or
end the
trying to
earth.
push down
And
your
what this
throat
would do is,
fucking
instead of hurting, because
stupid
people might
cultural
think, if you're
bullshit.
living in a scarcity mindset, thinking, oh my gosh, there's only so much money. We got to get that money. We got to knock out our competitor. You might think, wow, why didn't Armageddon sue Deep Impact? Right? Why didn't they knock them out of there? Well, number one,
Oh,
you
it's
can't
different
take
enough.
over a whole genre.
Yeah, you can't
Right. And
take
number
over
two,
the whole
the
genre.
movies actually generated more money because both of them came out around the same time.
Correct.
Why did that happen? Let's talk about the
Well,
double
I
effect
mean,
here.
it
So this is
was
a
the
proven market
well,
strategy
yeah,
that
the
boosts
market,
both
yeah,
products. There's shared hype,
correct.
right? So people get
Yeah, and people
excited
were
for both.
looking
They
for
get
that
excited
at
for,
that
hey, I
right
love
during
space, I
those
love these
time,
movies.
right
And
during
it
that
creates a
time, during
cultural
the time when
conversation. People
those
start talking
movies
about
came
space,
out. Yeah,
start talking
people
about
were looking
asteroid,
for those
start talking
kinds of
about, well, what if
movies,
this happened? What
right?
would you
That's why
do?
they
Right? It's
saw
like
them,
the zombie genre.
right?
People
Right.
started talking about,
Yeah,
well, if
that's why.
zombies
Yeah,
attacked, what would
people
you do?
love
Would you survive? What
right
would you do? What's your tactic for
apocalyptic
zombies?
movies,
Right? And it
post-apocalyptic
takes
movies, right?
over,
I love
it
that
just
shit.
takes over your thoughts. Beyond that, there's strategic differentiation. So let's talk about Pokemon and Power World. So with Pokemon is intended for younger audiences. Now, I know I say intended because that said, and I'm looking at all of you guys out there, and listen, I don't care how much Tylenol you've taken. I'm not going to judge you, right? No judgment here in the legal mindset. Uh, yes, I know older people play Pokemon. I know a lot of adults that play Pokemon. I'm not judging you
Yeah,
for
I
that.
just
Listen, I
started
got
getting
some,
back
I
into
may
it.
or may not. I cannot disclose whether I have emulators on my computer, okay? And I cannot disclose whether I played Pokemon Ultraviolet. That's something I'm not
Well,
going
I
to
mean, I'm
disclose on the
getting
internet.
back into the
But that
cards
said, you can say,
because I
okay,
can actually
Pokemon is
make some
intended for
money,
younger audiences.
profit,
Power
or
World is
make some
mature.
money from it.
Power World has guns. Power World
Versus
perhaps
just playing
tackles
video
the,
games
the
is
the
not the
topic of
same. I can't
slavery,
make
right?
money from that.
There's these
It
more
just eats my
mature
time.
topics and more refined taste, you might say, for Power World. It's not necessarily a one for one. And beyond that, what it does is it boosts the genre, increased visibility. People are talking about pocket monsters, right? Pocket Monsters becomes cool again. It becomes a
Yeah,
thing because everyone's making these games. And lastly, there
correct.
can be
I
cultural
mean, there was
references.
right.
Content
There's
creators can argue
Digimon.
forever. I remember getting on
There's the
podcasts and
Persona.
talking about, hey,
Persona
which is better,
kind of
this or that,
does
like
the
with zombie
summoning
movies,
genre, right?
which is
Pocket
better,
monster
right? With
stuff
fantasy,
too, right?
which is better, right?
You'd
You
be
know, A Wheel of
you'd
Time,
be
Lord of the Rings,
taking out
etc. Like you can
Persona,
argue and
right?
nerd
You'd be
out over
taking
these
out a
things,
lot
and
of those
that's good
games,
for
right?
both of the
Same with
properties.
Final
It's good
Fantasy,
for
right?
everybody. You
Final
do
Fantasy
not
had
need
summoning.
to knock
Chrono
everybody
Trigger,
out.
I think,
So
had
my
summoning
my
too, in a
kind of,
sense, right?
preaching to
So it's like, yeah,
Nintendo here is sort
you
of,
would be
to choose the path
shackling
of good,
and
right? I've been on this kind of
destroying so many
thing here
fucking
for
games for some
a lot of different reasons,
stupidity.
but choose the path of good, Nintendo. You still can get people to like you, but you have to decide which character you want to be, right? Do you want to be Bowser? Do you want to be evil, or do you want to be Mario? Right?
Uh,
And I'm okay if you're Donkey
well,
Kong.
Is
right? And
that
I'm okay if you're
Bronze
out there
Peach
wrecking
or
stuff.
Metal
Even
Peach or
Peach, because
whatever?
actually she's probably like a little bit chaotic bad. I don't know. Peach, I might have to demote her. But once again, you can be Donkey Kong. You can still wreck stuff. You can still be a little wild. But you don't want to be evil. You don't want to be in the Bowser Goomba, territory and be known
You
as
don't
a
want to be
bad
a
company. And
Wario.
I want a world in which good games are made and Nintendo makes good games. If Nintendo goes back to just focusing on the games instead of suing everybody and realizing that they themselves will profit, if they lay off the gas, they become the good guy, they focus on their content, and they can even collaborate with other companies that are in the similar genre and work
Nobody
together. How
wants
about
to.
a
You don't
pocket
become a
monster convention, right? You can
Wario
do
and
so much with that.
Waluigi.
You can do so much with that if you choose to
Waluigi.
work together and focus on what businesses should be doing, which is making money instead of engaging in lawfare. I don't know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next.
All right, there you have it. There's Legal Mindset. You want to check them out. And then we'll go over right. That was the beginning. And then let's see their this is some time. This is 8 days ago. So that was 11 days ago, that one video. Now it's 8 days ago. So 3 days later. They're basically their lawyer went on a deep end.
The Pokemon Company
Or their
International
attorney
has
went
gone
crazy.
evil.
Or
We're going
some
to get
shit.
into today how the insane chief legal officer and their crazy policies of lawfare and DEI are destroying the company that we all love, that we all grew up with. They're destroying our childhood, and they are hell bent on doing the absolute worst things. We have that all exposed today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney over here in Asia. And this has been really a crazy story. And the more you crack into it, the more we crack into it, the crazier it gets. Now, they thought we were going to go away after 1 day or 2 days. They thought the news cycle was going to blow over. Oh, no, no. The
Oh no, I've been
Pokemon
what?
International Company and their rabbit hole goes deep. And the corruption within this company and their entrenchment
Nintendo
within the
loves to
DEI
be pieces
industrial
of shit.
complex with all sorts of other lawfare is absolutely insane. It's nuts. And the more you look at
I
this, the
hate to
more there
say it,
is
but
to turn over.
companies
Now,
love to
I'm
be
going to
pieces
go
of
through
shit.
a long form interview in my live version. So if you want to see that, and it's really cool, you're going to need to watch the live version.
Love
But this is a
lying.
fast facts video.
They
It's
love
meant to be the quick
bullshitting.
and dirty version of latest legal news. So we're going to keep it brief. We're going to keep it
They
short.
they
But
hate
if you
being
like these
called
shorter
out
versions, you can like the video and you
on
can
their
comment below.
bullshit.
So let's get right into today. Of course, I've got a PP. Of course, I've got a fresh one for you on Pokemon Going Evil. Now, the first thing is, of course, I want to do a little refresher on our campaign. Of course, this is Stop the Pokemon Company International, and we're also tagging the Japanese company tags. Once again, I'm going to say this several times, but it's very important to tag the Japanese company because we need to get the attention of Japan. Right now, the Japanese company is not aware of how crazy it's going in the United States. They don't really know. They don't really have close oversight in the organizational structure. They kind of just say, hey, you guys do your thing over there in America, but don't embarrass us. Well, they're embarrassing them. And we need to make it clear to the Japanese company and to the Japanese side of things that this is absolutely going the wrong way. We need to get their attention and we need to make sure that they know what's going on. So we're going to engage in whatever behavior is necessary to get these things done. The requests are really simple. Settle the lawsuit with Power World, right? It's better to coexist than to legally destroy competition. They can both exist. There's no reason why they need to go and try to crush this company other than some zealous crazy attempt to control the entire genre, to control everything that even remotely looks like Pokemon at all. Also, to cease the lawfare against the modding community. The precedent that they will set will stop modding pretty much forever when it's applied to other cases. Once again, people who are defending Nintendo, that are defending this, they hyper focus on these specific patents and they get in the details and they start arguing, well, they filed it then, they filed it then. You're missing the point, right? You're missing the forest. You're looking at a tree. The point is, when you set case precedent, when you go to court and you get a ruling, that ruling is used in other ways, broader ways, beyond just what that one little case says. So while you might have an argument pro Pokemon Company, right? While you might be able to defend them, you need to understand that when we talk about cases, We're looking at the big picture. We're looking at the law because, as you see in the law, one little case can change everything, not just in the country, but in the world because
Mm-hmm.
IP is global. These are considerations all around the world. These impacts are massive for gaming, and it
Yeah,
cannot be
gaming
understated. I'm
as
not
a whole.
understanding this at all whatsoever. They also need to cease the patent trolling behavior. They're engaging in registering overly broad patents in an attempt to control the genre. And
Correct.
what we really want
Also,
them to do is go back
I
to the
don't think
original
this is
vision,
allowed
go back
either
to the vision
to do
of the
something so
creators, right? Go
generalized like
back to the
this. This is
original people. But
fucking,
what the
that's
normal Pokemon
insane.
is doing, sorry, what the modern Pokemon is doing is they are destroying the old Pokemon. They have made the original people, the original vision, they've destroyed it, they've perverted it, and they made them into villains. So we're going to show you, excuse me, there, I need to get my water, but we're going to show you how they are tearing this company down and destroying everything we love. So I'm going to get into it real quick. What can we do? What's the strategy? Once again, the American branch has gone wild with litigation DI. The Japanese company is giving them almost no oversight. If you guys have listened to my coverage of Niji Sanji, the VTuber companies, very, very similar to what I've covered with those guys. As you saw with Niji Sanji, the blackest of black companies, right? They really didn't care. They really don't care about their overseas foreign brands, similar with many other VTuber companies, which are big Japanese corporations. Remember, there's a cultural aspect to this, and a lot of Japanese corporations operate like this. They're very hands off with their branches. You see that here, in Asia, when there's, for example, the Japanese parent company and they have a subsidiary in another country. They often are very, very hands off. They just say, hey,
Mhm.
bring us the money and don't cause trouble, right? So what they said to them, and what we know they said, is, "Hey,
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
embarrass us
yeah,
or the brand."
Tencent, right?
Remember, they're
Tencent is a
publicity
big
shot. That's something they
proponent
said. Their
in
former counsel
having a
said
bunch of
themselves, right?
company,
Which
right, a
may
bunch
have
of
been a little bit of a
investment in
barb at
America
the current chief
companies,
counsel. I can
and just
sense
being
a little
like, hey,
kink
just
in there,
make
but
us the money
um,
and don't cause us
what we
issues,
must do is cause public
right?
embarrassment legally. Legally, once again, I'm encouraging everybody, and let me be very, very clear about this. We need to engage in this campaign in a legal, peaceful way, in a way that's respectful but legal. Right? Memes are legal. Right? Humor is legal. Parody is legal. Now, it's legal in America. So one of the big things here is that we can make memes that are considered disrespectful to the Japanese in
Oh yeah,
America. So under
oh yeah,
Japanese law,
yeah.
they
Under
might be
Japanese law,
defamation,
yeah,
right?
all
But
the
in
stuff we say in
America, they're called
America,
fair
they
use and
would
criticism, right?
fucking
So
hate.
under American law, God bless America, we need to go out there and create those memes. We need to go out there and just absolutely go for them, because that's the way we're going to get
Yeah,
their
even
attention. Because when the
Canadians hate
Japanese see these
Americans
things, when they see the
because we
tags in
say
Japanese tagging the
say shit
Japanese
so
company,
freely
use the
compared to.
kanji, it'll be in the description below. That's when they're really going to wake up. That's when they're going to be like, what the hell is going on here? This is disrespectful. What's going on? Because they don't know. They're
They
not
don't
paying
know,
attention.
yeah.
When they wake up, and when all of a
Well, I
sudden the
mean, they don't
Pokemon
know
Company
American
International
culture.
and their boba liberal, insane activist, litigation crazy chief
Gotta love
legal
that
counsel,
Constitution.
Jennifer, right? We're going to get into her in a second. When they find out about, they're going to have some splaining to do. And they're really not going to have anything to explain for it. They're going to say, "Well, we thought suing everybody was great. We thought the strategy was amazing. We thought it was great. Well, we think DEI is great too. We think kicking kids out of card games is amazing. That's great for us, right? That's great for the Pokemon Company. That's what we want." And the Japanese are going to be like, "What the fuck?" Like, it's going to be epic, because that meeting is going to be
That's
the most
gonna
uncomfortable
be
thing ever. Trust me, I'm a corporate attorney. I'm a general
fuck
counsel. I've
them
worked with big
kids.
corporations. When these parent companies
Epic.
abroad find this out, there
Fucking
will be a
Christ.
reckoning in that boardroom. I do not want to be a fly on the wall on that call. That is going to be so awkward. And let's make it awkward for them, because
Oh
they've
my god.
decided to engage in this campaign
Friendly,
of bullying the little guy,
friendly,
of picking on the
family
small company.
friendly
They
genre
thought they could pick on Pal
destroyed.
World and beat up on them. They thought
just
they could beat up on
just by them
modders.
doing
They
all
thought they could
this.
beat up on the freaking Super Mario supermarket in Costa Rica. Yes, that's a real thing. Yes, that's a real thing. They did that. That's insane, crazy litigation. So
Yeah,
what we got to do,
same with
especially, is go
the
after
Smash
the sacred
Brothers,
Pokemon execs,
right?
especially the
A lot of
Japanese ones,
right.
because by
Nintendo
memeing
hates
them, once again,
tournaments.
these are friendly memes. They're under U.S.
They
law.
they
We
don't
find it
even
friendly.
right. They
They
don't
find
even
it
do their
disrespectful
right. I
culturally,
don't.
right? Once again, you have to understand Japanese culture
Nintendo
here.
barely
Anybody
does
who's
any
really in Japan, who've
like
been to Japan, like
like
I have, like many of my friends who live there,
proactive
no,
like
this is the way.
events
This is the way to
with
do it. You got to poke
other
them where they're sensitive,
creators
just to
or
wake them
other
up. Once again, we just
companies
want to wake them up.
to
And once they're
host like
woken up, once
events or
the problem is
stuff,
fixed,
right?
we'll
They
go
just
back to
don't.
being super respectful. We'll go back to being cool. We'll go
They're
back to making
pretty.
good
They're
games
like
and fair
old
criticism. But
fashioned,
for
private,
now, we
keep
got
to
to meme them. So what do we
themselves.
do? We engage in fair use criticism under American
Right.
law. We have videos criticizing them. We have memes. One of the big targets, I think, that
I
you
mean, I
guys can
guess you
go
may
for,
get
create
the
memes and
right
everything else,
the
is
right the
Sunakaze
collabs and
Ishihara. That's
crossovers,
gonna
but I mean that's
really get
about
under
it,
their
right?
skin. We got to paint him
I'm
as the
talking about like
Giovanni or the Gary, right? He's got to be the
right like
top villain
Or
here in all of the
hosting like
memes because
League of
that's going to
Legends
wake the
events
Japanese up.
or like right stuff like that.
Tagging that
Smash
on X,
events.
tagging that on
I
Twitter,
mean, they have
TikTok,
tons of
Twitter,
PvP games
YouTube,
too.
Twitch,
They just
Kick,
don't do
everywhere else,
events
every
for
single
some reason.
platform. We got to be making memes out here until they ask what the heck is going on. The other thing you can do is
Right,
contact your
they hate
political
community,
representatives.
even though they tout
This is very,
themselves to
very
be
important
family
because
friendly.
a
That's
lot
a
of what's
crazy
going
thing,
on here with
right?
patents needs to be stopped. You need to call them
Right?
up and say, what the hell is the
Right,
Pokemon
they
Company
hate the
International doing with their patents?
community
Why are
for
these getting rubber
making
stamped? What's going
mods
on in the patent office?
for
Hey,
wanting to like
we need an
Pokemon
investigation of the
and
patent office. Can you guys
put
look
it
into the
in
patent
other
office and
games.
see what the
They
hell
hate
is
that
going
shit
over there?
apparently.
Who
I
is
don't know why.
approving these patents? Why were they doing this? There needs to be a check on these people.
And
There needs to be
like I
some
said, they're
accountability,
just
and your political
the fun
representatives can't
police.
do that.
No fun
Call them up,
allowed.
give them a call. Remember to get on the phone. That's the most effective way. You can also send a letter, you can write them, you can go see them, but calling is super effective with getting your political representatives. Use these specific tags. Remember, this is a big one. I still see you guys out there using Nintendo. You cannot use Nintendo. Nintendo is used to haters. Nintendo owns a large share, 32% of the Pokemon company, and it is
Correct.
relevant. We're going to get into
Correct.
the
It was a
the
Game
change
Freak.
there that's happening at Nintendo that just got announced today.
Well, actually, I don't
Once
know.
again,
Who makes Pokemon?
Nintendo does have a large share, but the tag that's going to annoy them is the Pokemon Company International, specifically this Japanese kanji right here.
The
This is the name
Pokemon
in Japanese.
Company
This is Japanese
is
kanji, right?
primarily
This is a name
responsible for managing the
romanized, right? So you can use
Pokemon
both if you
franchise.
want to. You
There it
can
is.
copy paste both. You can copy paste all three, but make sure you're using
Who's
this one.
Game Freak?
And if any
Game Freak
Japanese
is
speakers
the
are out there,
card
any
game.
Chads out there that know Japanese, make posts in Japanese, get the Japanese audience out there. I'm going to have a Japanese translation of one of my original videos out there
It's the
so
video
that the
game
Japanese can know. I'm
developer.
paying some good money for that one. But we need to let the Japanese know because the Japanese don't know. We got to keep it up for over a week. They think it's going to die down in a few days. They're going to break. I have enough. I'll tell you right now. I have enough content
But they
to
work.
keep this going for a
They
while.
probably
And
work
if they
under
don't
the
know about
Pokemon
LawTube and
company
don't know
though.
about what we do and haven't seen my coverage of Johnny
Okay.
Somali or
Or
Johnny
well, they
Depp
all
or
work
Amber Heard,
together.
oh baby, we can keep it up for days. I can keep my PP up for days. You can count on that. Hold on, I got a new reaction. That
Are you taking drugs? What are you doing? Why did you say that?
Hope you guys like that one. But anyways,
no
we're
objection.
going to be able to keep this up for a while.
Just
I'm going
said
to
you
keep this going.
keep your
I'm not going to
PP up
stop
for
till there's
days.
some
What are you
change,
doing?
there's some action here,
Taking drugs.
or until I get a cease and desist, whatever comes first,
Kidding.
right? But if they do, I'll publicize that, and I'll make sure to make it very, very clear that they're trying to shut down fair use and criticism. So have fun with that either way. Once again, LawTube profits either way. We all profit either way. They can strike one of
Yeah,
us
I mean,
down,
if
but
anything,
we will rise. We will become stronger.
something
we will multiply,
stupid
right?
were to
This is
happen
what
where they try
happens,
to
right?
take
When
down some
when you mess
that'd be
around like
dumb.
this.
Like, come
So
on, man.
let's get into the the
Are
hit
you
kids,
like
right?
this?
There's a teen who was laughed at. A teen who laughed when asked for preferred pronouns was kicked out of a Pokemon card tournament. This is part of their
Yeah, I noticed
DEI
that they've been
and
asking
other
for pronouns now
ESG
a lot in
DEI
certain
initiatives.
spaces, and it's
They
just like
cannot tolerate.
I guess they're
They
trying to
cannot
be
tolerate anybody who
trying
doesn't
to be
accept
all
their religion.
friendly and
And forcing a
inclusive
child
to
to
everyone.
accept your religion or
Not
pronouns
trying to
is
be
not okay. There are
exclusive,
many
right?
people of different
I mean, they're trying not to
religions,
be like so
ethnicities,
DEI
whatever else, that
heavy,
do not
but at the
acknowledge
same
the
time, it
use
feels like
of whatever other
DEI,
pronouns, or
right?
don't even
It's
acknowledge
like,
that. Maybe they don't even use pronouns, right?
I
So
hate
when you
using
get asked that, and you
pronouns.
just laugh about
Like,
it.
can you just
Okay,
use my
that's
name?
reasonable. In
You
fact,
can
that's even
obviously tell I'm a
discriminatory
dude,
against
right?
somebody
Okay.
who might
It's
not
like,
believe in that
come
and
on.
might not carry that belief. They just laughed. They didn't hurl out a racial slur. They didn't hurl out anything else. They just laughed. They
Right.
just laughed. That's it. And they were kicked out of the Pokemon card tournament. And let me read the story here so you guys know I'm not making this up. It's in Charlotte. A teenager who plays Pokemon trading card game TCG. Remember, this is very similar to like MTG Wizards of the Coast. I used to play MTG
Right.
semi-competitively. My ELO
Magic
score isn't
the
great, but
Gathering.
I did all right. I really just like burn. I like to get through it quickly. But anyways. Um, so this guy was playing
Yeah,
at a high
Magic the
competitive level
Gathering
and
in
was
my area is
disqualified
not
after he
that big.
laughed
It's
when he was
all
asked
about
his
the
pronouns.
Pokemon
Makani
in my
Tran was
area.
out $800.
So many people
A couple of
fucking
flights and missed
Pokemon
school
cards. It's
time.
insane. It's
after
because
he'd
a
been
lot
a
of them are have
non-binary
right.
judge
A lot
cutting his
of
tournament
the
run short
people
for a
who
bizarre reason. The teenager said he never meant
played
to offend anyone and was
Pokemon
close to
have
tears when
kids of their
disqualified.
own, and then
Literally, the
also
guy's
their
it's a
kids get
teenager. You're
into it
picking on
too.
a
So it's
child.
like, yeah,
You have a judge who's supposed to be neutral, right? Judges are supposed to be neutral, but instead they have these DEI, ESG approved judges that are out here kicking out children because they refuse to accept their religion, right? And once again, the religion of you are required to have pronouns, right? That is not something everybody has to accept. And let me be very clear about this. If you want to use alternative pronouns in your regular life, you tell all your friends, do whatever you want, that's your right. You can do that, right? My issue is compelled speech. My issue has always been compelled
correct.
speech. Compelled speech is wrong. It's un-American, and it should not be done
Yeah, I don't like
anywhere,
that
any
shit.
place, anytime. That is a DI ESG thing, right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. This and mind you, this was not an instance where this teenager like misgendered the judge, right? The judge had a plaque that said "Call me they them," and they called it, they called him it or something like that. That wasn't what happened here, right? They just laughed
Well,
at the
yeah.
question. That's a much different issue. That's much different.
Basically, someone got up in
He
their
even said
fifis
he
about
was facing off against
the
one of the
chuckle. I
U.S.'s
guess
best players,
they
Alex
felt attacked.
Shiminsky, and had nerves laughing awkwardly. So literally, this is
You
you're laughing
laughed
at
at
an
me?
awkward
How dare
teenager who's
you?
in a high pressure situation. And trust me, I know. I've been in these tournaments. I've gotten to the playoffs, like to the knockout rounds, right? After the general pop is out and you're in the knockouts, it's tense. You're really worried because there's a lot of money on the line. There's status on the line. It's a big thing. So the fact that you laugh nervously at that and they kick you out, talk about snowflake of snowflakes of snowflake. That is uber DEI. And the fact is, they haven't backed down from that. They've only doubled down from that, particularly under their new chief general counsel, or rather their chief legal officer, Jennifer. We're going to get into Jennifer in a second. So here's another one that you guys know. Pokemon sues fans to block a Pokemon party on the eve of the PAX convention in Seattle. It's happened in 2015. So
Oh, so yeah,
literally,
so
these
they're
people, these were
basically
fans
blocking
that
events.
just
Yeah, that's
wanted
what I
to
thought.
run a Pokemon tournament.
Yeah.
A Pokemon event, right?
Yeah,
They
no,
just
yeah.
wanted to have
The
some themed
basically
shots,
Nintendo
dancing,
hates events.
giveaways,
Yeah.
cosplay. But can
So
fans have
yeah,
nice
even
things
so
under this Pokemon,
basically
authoritarian Pokemon regime?
Legal
No, they
Mindset
cannot.
brought some receipts.
Fans
I
cannot
told
have
you
fun.
they hate
Fans are not
fucking
allowed to have
events,
fun
dude.
because the poster had Pikachu and Snivy. I'll show the next one. Pikachu's image was also used to promote it. So
Right, I
because of this
don't even
poster
have to
here,
tell you,
once
right?
again, this is for
They
legal,
have been
educational, fair
doing
use
this for the
purposes. I'm showing
past,
this
right,
to
for a
educate, right?
while
It's
now,
fair
for the
use.
past 20 years,
It's very
right?
fair use.
Even probably
The
even
Pokemon
before I
Company
was even
International,
alive,
Kabushiki Gaisho
right? Because
Pokemon.
I
This is the
bet
Japanese
some
name right there.
people even
Kabushiki
before
Gaisho
I was
Pokemon.
alive were
They
trying
hate
to
fans. They hate
do
fun. They hate free events,
events.
right? No cover all night with DJ Dirty. DJ Dirty Bit. I want to get down with DJ Dirty Bit. Yes. To have a little reaction there. It sounds like a fun event, but we can't have fun at Pokemon.
Yeah,
No.
no fun
Thanks
allowed.
to who? Jennifer Leo. And I may be mispronouncing her last name, which
Oh, it's a
no
she?
offense, Leo or Leo, whatever. I'm gonna call her
Wait,
Jenny. We'll
has
call
she
her Jenny. We're
been?
gonna talk to Miss Jen over
Oh
here, right?
no.
Jenny. We'll call her
Uh-oh.
Jenny,
It's a
right?
Karen.
Jenny.
It's a
These
fucking
people, and we know
Karen,
this. We
dude.
knew this during the Kirk incident. They put way too much on LinkedIn, and it just so turns out. Shock Pikachu can confirm she's the current chief legal officer at LinkedIn. These people expose themselves left and right. So did a little bit of looking around here. Oh, look at this. Shock Pikachu. She worked at Sony.
No.
Another giga woke DEI company. All the other
No.
gaming
She's a
channels, all the other
Karen.
people out there are going to be able to
Oh.
back me up on this one.
Oh.
They are absolutely one of the worst of the worst of the worst offenders.
Oh,
So not
fucking
surprised there.
annoying. Oh,
Not surprised there at all.
Jesus.
And
Have.
I listened to an interview, which I will give in
Oh,
my full form.
Lord
It's going to be a very
Almighty.
long stream.
Why have you
I'm going to go
done
through it
this
all.
to us?
I went through what she did and who
Why
she
do
is. So
you
here's
hate
the big
us?
thing about her that you guys need to know.
What did we do
She
to
started
you,
her career as an
God?
activist. And she virtue signaled, and this is a kind of code talk. You can watch the interview. I'll try to post the link below. They may try to take it down because they're going to be scared of it being exposed. But what they do to virtue signal is they start by talking about their activism. Now, she talks about
No.
experiencing racism at fraternity during
Wait,
college. And let me be very clear.
Wait, what?
I'm very much against racism and very sympathetic to that. One of my very, very close friends in Korea, the head of an Asian sorority over there in Texas, would tell me, hey,
Oh, she went to
this stuff does happen.
University of
And I'm very
Michigan. Okay,
sympathetic to that. And I think this
that's
should
why.
be
Or
corrected. People should
Iowa,
be punished when they
yeah.
go through that. But the key here is,
Yeah, I mean,
why
well,
would
I
you
mean,
lead
come
with
on.
that as your
I
purpose
was.
for getting into law? That is a virtue signal. That is a code speak for saying, I am an activist. I'm an activist first
Yeah,
and
but
foremost. I
also
am on team
in
activist, right?
lawyering,
That is
right? You're
her getting
going to
that message
meet
out there. So that's how she led the
some
interview. She
racist
also goes
people. I'm
into, and there's a
pretty
lot of
right.
other details, but one of the
I
very
hate to
important
tell
things
you,
is
you're
she
going
was
to meet
heavy in
some
litigation. All
racist
she do is she
people
eat,
out in the
sleeps,
wild
and
anyway.
drinks litigation. This is a litigation. I've never met a
Uh,
lawyer that is more litigation hungry than Jenny. And
like
not
so
only
what? I
that, but
don't.
she says that her top qualification for the lawyer she hires is litigation
No, she's
experience,
a
not
Karen. No,
transactional experience.
no. This
That is
person's just
insane.
straight up
As
a
a person
Karen.
who's worked as a in general counsel, right? As
Just
associate
a
general counsel,
stuck-up
I've worked
Karen.
with general counsel. That is nuts. You want general counsel that is transactional. Why the hell are you hiring a litigator as your chief general counsel? That is nuts. You need somebody who puts business first. That's transactional lawyers. The difference is, guys, litigation attorneys live and breathe inside the courtroom. Transactional attorneys are attorneys like myself and many others that are the quiet behind the scenes
So they
attorneys
got
that you
someone
don't normally
who's
see, because you know what
power
we do?
hungry,
We generate
basically.
win-wins for company. We generate business. We make deals. We make
Basically, they got
contracts.
someone
We
who
make
goes
things happen.
very
That's not what
hardcore
Jennifer does.
offensively.
Or Jenny. Sorry, Jenny. That's not what
So,
Jenny does. What Jenny does is destroy people. What
so
Jenny
that
does is
is,
sue supermarkets in Costa
yeah,
Rica.
she
What she
basically
does is
tries to
sue,
go on hungry
kick kids out of
lawsuits.
events. What she does is
Yeah, she
go
just
after
starts,
people that
she,
you don't need to go after.
yeah,
She
she's
starts
like
in these campaigns, launches in these insane crusades that are
she
unnecessary for the
antagonizes
company. It
people,
is
is what she
completely unnecessary for the company
does.
from a
She's a
business
Karen.
standpoint. It is a business loss. You are losing money by investing so
uh,
heavily in litigation. You are losing money. Whenever you sue, you are losing money. You're not making money. Nobody is like net winning off of that. Even if you win your little IP, your petty IP battle, you've lost so much in legal fees. And more than that, you've lost good favor, you lost good marketing, and you become the villain. Congratulations, Jenny. I hope
yeah,
you're happy
wouldn't you
you've
just
become
sink the
the
company, right?
villain,
What,
right? So
right?
once
You
again,
might
you see,
curry
this
a
is a boba liberal
reputation where
type, never
people
been
just
outside their
don't
gated
like you.
community, never seen, hey, this is what gamers are, this is
Especially
what
when
they're
you try
doing,
to
this is what they
shackle a whole
want. They're not
fucking
giving the gamers, she's
genre of
not giving
video
the gamers
games.
what they want. She doesn't know Pokemon as deeply as the people that
Well, not
love the
even
product. She
shackle a
doesn't
whole genre of
understand
video
the
games.
people
Just
modding, the
shackle a
people out
bunch
there
of
who are
video
contributing to
games.
this. And that's a big
Right,
problem. That's a
Final
huge problem
Fantasy,
with
right?
Jenny. No, a little bit of extra here. So
Right,
this is
anything that
Sutaro
technically with
Furukawa.
summoning
Now,
in a
some
sense,
people, by
right?
the way, some people are trying to say that I don't know the Nintendo structure. No, I know. Nintendo owns a portion of the Pokemon company, right?
Now,
There's a
gotcha games
Pokemon
would be
company in
fucked up,
Japan and a
right?
subsidiary in America, right? The subsidiary in America is in Washington. They're very heavy
Basically, a
DEI,
lot of
super
fantasy
giga woke,
games would be
right?
fucked up.
This
Right,
guy's
a
over
lot of
here
games
in
that have
Japan
like
with Nintendo,
right
right? So
mythology in
he's
it would
controlling
be
Nintendo
kind of
Japan.
fucked
Their
up too.
subsidiary is Nintendo America. So what you got here, what do you got right here? You got Devin Pritchard coming in. She's just going to be in for Nintendo of America. Now, once again, not direct relationship to Pokemon International Company. Of course, they all have each other's
Persona
phone
would be
numbers. They
fucked
all can
up,
call each
right?
other, right? But it looks like we're going to get more
Because you're
DEI and whatnot at
summoning
Nintendo Company of America. So
creatures
once
or
again, if
things,
this is the
right?
type of thing you want to see, you want to
Entities.
see these companies torn apart, you want to see lawfare, this is what's going to happen at the company. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below.
This is,
on the next one.
dude.
Ladies
These
and gentlemen,
companies are being ran through
we
by
got him.
Karens, man. Oh Jesus, run! Abort mission. Abort ship, man. It's a fucking sinking ship. Oh God. Oh, there you have it. Karen's ruining everything at the legal mindset. How fun. How fun is that? Oh, does she go crazy
It's been a
again?
long time since I've done a reaction video. This is long and it may get to the point organization. So
Oh, okay. So this is
where you're just
her.
making
Oh,
up
this is her. No, we're not gonna
serious
go
gotten an
over it.
injunction. I've got
No, this is no. I don't want to listen to her dumbass. I'm sorry, legal mindset. I don't want to listen to her dumbass. But there you go. If you want to look at legal mindset stuff, here you go. There it is. She's a Karen through and through. I ain't gonna put up with that shit. I ain't sorry. Alright, there you have it.